Every time I sing, lay, 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 she looks at me. Where's the other? Oh, she's out there? It's testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. That sounds good. It's near my chin, but testing 1, 2, 3. I don't know why it's got a funny level tonight. All right, that's good. Let me get out my prayer book.
Ready?
Do I have one? Can you just give me a second? Or no? No, go ahead.
I think we're live, yeah.
Go ahead. Good Shabbos, everyone. I don't see you on Zoom yet, but am I correct that we are on? Okay. Good Shabbos. So they can see me or they can't see me? Okay. So you see me. Well, that's not fair. I want to see you. And maybe that'll happen really, really soon. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Cantor Rochelle Nelson. It's an honor to be able to be with you on the Bima tonight. Our Rabbi Amy Morrison will be coming back next week, and we'll have a full and happy Bima together, both together, harmonizing and singing again. But for right now, you're stuck with me. So we're going to open on page 10, if you have the prayer book, and it's Hine Matov, how good, how wonderful for all of us to be blessed to be together. Hine Matov ומניים שבת אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומניים שבת אחים גם יחד Try that הנה מה טוב ומניים שבת אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומניים Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Now you echo me. How good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Shalom Alechem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Alechem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Alechem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Alechem, Salam Aleikum. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Well, again, I want to wish you a good Shabbos. My name is Cantor Rochelle Nelson. I've been in this community a lot of years, and this was the first congregation that I worked at while I was still in cantorial school in New York. So you say, how did you do that if you were in New York? I flew home every Thursday evening to Miami and went back to school every Sunday night. That's how I did it. I had over 450,000 traveling points, Jim, and I was able to send my parents on many, many trips with that money because they were the schleppers. So now we're going to light our candles, and our candles signify the light of our lives. And we pray every day that other people will know what light is all about. Now, some of us cover our eyes when we say the blessing, and we do that so that when you open them, all you'll see is the light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של Shabbat. Amen. And for a moment, I just see the light. And then I see more light when I look up at you. Yeah. Okay, we're going to continue greeting the Shabbat. First of all, turn around to your sides and greet everybody for a second. Turn around wherever you are. Good Shabbos. If you know the person, give them a Shabbos kiss. Yeah, just say hi to everybody. There you go. You might as well get to know each other because I'm going to have you tell each other what you're grateful for in a moment. It's so wonderful to see people here. If any of you feel like you want to move up and get closer, we love that too. And while I'm at it, so in case I want to make sure that I recognize these people. I want to thank Gabriel and his tech support in the front here, Alex with his mother Jennifer, and our incredible accompanist Pat Seymour for the beautiful music tonight, and the flowers, which are pink. Oh, they match my shirt. Look at that. Oh my God! I just should sit here on the steps and lead services. Wow. Okay. Thank you for those flowers. You did just right tonight. Sponsored by Elaine Litvak in memory of her mother, Ida Stone. Thank you for choosing such a beautiful color. All right, so we're going to continue warming up. You see, when you go jogging, you don't just start running, you stretch, right? Same thing with synagogue. You don't just come in and boom, start praying. You warm up. That warm-up portion is called Kabbalat Shabbat. It's the very opening part of the service, getting you singing, getting you saying hello to one another, bringing in the light. So we're going to sing a great piece called Ozi v'zimrat Yah, Ozi, my strength, is with the song of God, and God is my salvation. Ozi v'zimrat Yah. Ozi v'zimrat Yah, vayhi li Yeshua. 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 Ozi v'zimrat Yah. Ozi v'zimrat Yah, vayhi li Yeshua. Ozi, Ozi v'zimrat Yah, vayhi li Yeshua. Shalom Alechem. And there's many, of course, versions. Probably a lot of you know one that you would call more traditional, but there's so many, I have to choose one different almost every week. So we're going to do Shalom Alechem, which you can find on page 24. And you'll catch on to the melody really easy, and just, I don't care if you sing on a la, just join me. Shalom Alechem, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malchei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malchei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitzechem. Tzeitzechem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay, we're going to go into Lachado D with a kind of a Latin beat by my wonderful friend Ilana Arian. And when we get to the last verse, I will ask you to rise and face the door because we're going to greet the Sabbath bride. Because as this Shabbos is so beautiful for us, so is the bride on her wedding day. Here we go, we're on page 20. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat lekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat lekabela. Shamor bezachur b'dibur echad השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ותפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקרא. That's right, we clap on two. לך דודי, anybody can clap on one. Shabbat, Shabbat, Nekabel. Second verse. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nelcha, ki mikor habracha, merosh mikerem nepsucha, sof ma'atzeh מחשבת תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקרא. You come on in, Jeannie. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקרא. Verse 5 on 21. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדונייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצוהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. Now we bow. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. Come back to me. לך דודי on two. לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה. You may be seated. Now that's called a Kabbalat Shabbat. I mean, actually, it could have gone another 20 minutes because it often does, especially in camp settings and so forth. But because we're always on a time kind of clock, we don't keep going. But if I'm in your home doing a service, trust me, we'll be singing for a long time. And that's the beauty of the Sabbath. It's a time to be joyful and a time to let the week go by. I don't know about you, and I'll tell you a little bit in another minute, but yesterday was like one of those days where in the saying, it rains, it pours. I had one of those days. And I woke up, everything was great, and then I went down to the airport and to get something, and when I came out of the airport, I was walking around, couldn't find my car anywhere. I was on the top floor in the broiling sun, there was no coverage. I'm walking from side to side to side to side for over 30 minutes, dripping wet. Finally, a car comes along that's willing to talk to me, and he says, well, what are you looking for? I said, my car, it's up here, it's in Flamingo. He said, no, you're in the Dolphin. And Lila was with me, of course, she was severely overheated. I will tell you, if you ever go to the airport, Don't expect anyone to help you. It's not the same airport we grew up in Miami. There's no little carts driving around to help you. You're on your own. And then I thought, okay, that's the worst of the day. So I came home, and I got on my computer to work on my sermon, and suddenly my computer just crashed, blinking lights, alerts, and a number from Apple saying, call immediately, you have been hacked, or whatever. Well, I called the number, and I spoke to someone for a few minutes, and guess what? She was the hacker. Never, ever, ever think that Apple is going to leave you a number. After all, how would they know you got hacked? The person that's hacking you knows you got hacked. So I spent the next 4.5 hours with Apple on the phone and erasing everything on my entire computer and putting everything back on. And then, like a house where the furniture's been moved, I didn't know where anything was. So yesterday I went to bed about 1 o'clock in the morning, very, very antsy and unhappy. Today I woke up, it's a new day. I was able to put my stuff in order, almost. And I feel blessed. I feel blessed that I was able to get through this without any real harm, because had I stayed with her any longer, well, my history would be history. I'm going to ask you now, if you'd please rise, and let's celebrate the Sabbath with the call to worship, the Baruch Hu. Page 28. Lai, 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 ya la, lai, lai, ya la, la, lai, la, lai, lai. Lai, 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 ya la, lai, lai, ya la, la, lai, la, lai, lai. Ya lai, 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 ya la, lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 ya la, 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 lai, la, la, lai. Lai, 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 lai. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. Lai, 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 ya la, la, lai, ya la, la, lai, la, la, lai. Lai, 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 ya la, lai, lai, ya la, lai, 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 lai. Continue standing, and let's turn to page 31 on the bottom, and let's read together the bottom blessing. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is an hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Arabim. Ahavat Olam, page 32. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu v'shochteinu, u'kulenu nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu, והם נגה יומם ולילה, נגה יומם ולילה. יהבת אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. Page 35. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Avad. You may be seated. Guys, do you feel like, Laura, Haley, do you feel like chanting V'ahavta? You up to it? 1 out of 2? Yeah, you can do it, Haley. Come on. By the way, because I don't want to forget to mention this to you later in the service. It's really important before we do the V'ahavta. You know, in our homes, we're taught, great, you guys come over here, it's perfect. In our, first of all, hold on, kisses. Another kiss. These are my babies. These are my babies. So in the V'ahavta prayer, it's like a quick abbreviation of the things you need to do to create a Jewish home. You should lie down, you should rise up. All of these things are so important to Judaism. And you know, when you bring young people to synagogue and then you teach them, and your parents make sure that they're taught, and they can come up and do things like this. This is everything that we wish for our children, and they go to Jewish camps. So this is really a wonderful feeling every time you guys are here. Here we go. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם באמת. Guys, do you want to stay up for the Micha Mocha? It's the one that goes, we are walking, and I have the words, walking in the light of God. We are walking, do you know it? Night of God. You kind of know it. You'll kind of sing it with me. What do you think, Laura? No? Adios. It's all right. I have to, these girls are going to help lead high holiday services, youth services with me. And they're going to sing with me all year because I'm just going to get them up here and teach them a whole repertoire of Jewish music. And Haley can bring her guitar, but she was brave enough to come up and sing tonight. So that's wonderful. And what I wanted to also tell you is, and think about this during services tonight, I want to come on Saturday nights to different homes and do a beautiful Havdalah service, which means we would sing, we would chat, we would munch on food. I want any of you who want to open your apartments, invite your friends, Jewish, Christian, I don't care, Muslim, even better, whatever. I don't care the race, I don't care anything. I just want to bring people together and make a feeling and let them know what Shabbos feels like. So think about if you'd like to host something in your home, and I will be there, probably with baby Lila. Okay, all right, let's sing a song of freedom together, the Micha Mocha, which is on page 40, and again, thousands of versions of this this liturgy. And here's a more interesting one, I think you'll find, by a friend of mine, Saul Kay. It goes like this. Very influenced by the church. We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking, we are walking, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking, we are walking, we are walking in the light of God. Mi chamocha, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neheda b'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neheda b'kodesh. Nohora, Nohora, Tehilot, Tehilot, Osef Ele. Get ready. Nohora, Nohora, Tehilot, Tehilot, Osef Ele. We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking. We are walking. We are walking. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking. We are walking. We are walking in the light of God. Wow, you're wonderful. You're a wonderful congregation. My sister said to me when she was down, because this is a new congregation, not new to me, old but new, and my sister hadn't been here probably ever. She noticed, and she's a big musician in LA, she noticed everybody was singing on the first clap. She said before she left back to LA, she said, you teach them to clap on the second beat. That's the beat that you feel, and you're doing it perfectly. So it's going to be one, instead of okay? I'm just giving you a little music lesson. All right. So moving on, the Hashkivenu. The Hashkivenu is a gorgeous blessing. And it tells us, grant God, that we lie down in peace and may we raise up again with life renewed. And what does that mean? It means that each day is a new day, which I had to remind myself of several times yesterday, that this day would pass, that I'd get my computer back, and I would never make such a stupid mistake again. Probably will. But because hacking has gotten so good that even the young man I was speaking to had been hacked, and he works for Apple. So that's how common, and they certainly prey on older women and men because we're not as savvy as the kids are. But you'll be surprised, my daughter fell for it too. So what I'm going to do is, before I sing the Hashkivenu, is I want you to picture in your mind, close your eyes for a second, imagine you're just laying sweetly either in your bed or on your sofa, and you're letting all of your worries just go away, and you're kind of floating into some beautiful space. Whether you feel a stream, you're next to a stream, I love nature, or could even be your backyard, or with the people that you love. Just allow yourself to feel cradled by that love as we sing Hashkivenu. Let there be love. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from the storms. Let there be love and understanding. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu, Lishalom, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו השכיבנו אלות השלום השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו השכיבנו לשלום. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let there be peace. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. One more time. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Yeah, that was really nice. I'm definitely warmed up. I'm going to ask you now, since you're warmed up, to rise, and let's go to the central part of our service, the Tafila, otherwise known as Amidah, the standing prayer. Page 46. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Gibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Sadim Tovim, V'koneh HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Imahot, U'mevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, Man Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Abraham, V'Yizrat Sarah, page 50. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh Kol Atarav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Tomech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני Mechayeh HaKol, page 52. Atah Kadosh v'Shimcha Kadosh, u'Kadoshim b'chol yom yehalalu chasela. Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. You may be seated. Gratitude. We use the word so easily because we live freely in the United States. And even though there are lots of times we have our own pains and our own struggles, and some of us are very scared of the future that we're leaving for our children and grandchildren, I am one of those, we also at the same time are grateful because we have food on our tables, and we have a voice, and we matter, and our children matter, and the futures matter. So we have so much to be grateful for. And you can either go around in life talking about all the horrible things that are happening. You can just turn on the news. We can start with the climate and work our way down to the earth, lower earth. Or we can actually start to say, thank you because my cup is so full and it's so rich, and I have love, and I know love, and I have friends, and I have company, I have family, I have a community that I can come and be with. I have a rabbi and a cantor who care about me and would be there for me. And so much to be grateful for. Turn to the person next to you or behind you in a moment and tell them something you are grateful for. It just has to be one thing, and let them tell you something they are grateful for on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And those of you that are on Zoom, would you put in the chat what you're grateful for? I'm grateful for Sheila and Francis and Wendy and my beautiful Ruth Greenfield. And I don't have the names of the other people. I can't see who they are. I have a feeling, though. I have this feeling. I know one of the people on there. Let's see what I did with the note, and I'll be able to tell you, because she doesn't have her name up there. Let me see. No, it's not on here. Oh, here it is, maybe. Yes. Could that be Elaine Litvak? Is that Elaine Litvak on there? No, that's Elaine Litvak. I'm looking on there and thinking that's you because I can't see. All right, I have beautiful Lane here, and Sarah, and Jennifer, and Jim, and let me think, Lee and his family, and I have my beautiful family of how many years now? 100? Yeah, I think it's 110. 110. I'm so blessed to have so many people here I love. But I see that looks like Patty. Hi, Patty. Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos. And yeah, thank you for waving. And on the bottom, I don't know your name. I'm not great with names, but your picture's up there, and you're a very handsome guy. Thank you. That's from Shabbat Shalom, from Marissa Richardson to everyone. Okay, and there's going to be lots more like that. Anyway, so much to be grateful for. Let me sing a song called Grateful. I think this is the right song. For each day I live, my God, for each day I live, I am grateful, grateful, forever grateful, grateful each day I live. For each day I live, my God, for each day I live, I am grateful, grateful, forever grateful, grateful each day I live. I am gifted by your glory. I am lifted by your love. I am grateful, grateful, every day I live. I am grateful, grateful, every day I live. For each day I live, my God, for each day I live, I am grateful, grateful, forever grateful, grateful each day I live. For each day I live, my God, for each day I live, I am grateful, grateful, forever grateful, grateful each day I live. I am gifted by your glory. I am gifted by your glory. I am lifted by your love. I am grateful, grateful, every day I live. I am grateful, grateful, every day I live. great piece. Grateful. It is. It's a beautiful piece written by my friend Beth Stiles, who writes more for the church than she writes for the synagogue. And she's phenomenal. The greatest thing about my program, The Jewish Voice, which will start again live in September on Thursday nights at 7 p.m., is that I have finally met all the people that have written to me over the years and asked me for some of my own music. And now I have this huge family of composer friends that I know and I've visited, and it's just beautiful. And the show will go back on the air right after the high holidays, and I will make sure that you all know about it because it's so much fun to watch. We interview, they sing their music. You'll have a great time. So why don't we take a moment now and just pray the prayers of our own hearts. Take a moment. Show me your way. Show me your way, that I may do your will. Show me your way. Show me my path. Show me my path, that I may walk in peace. Show me my path. Galei darki v'yehalech b'shalom. Galei darki v'yehalech b'shalom. Show me your way, that I may do your will. Show me my path, that I may walk in peace. Show me your way. Show me your way, that I may live in peace. Show me your way. Show me my path. Show me my path, that I may walk in peace. Show me my path. Galei li darki v'yehalech b'shalom. Galei li darki v'yehalech b'shalom. Show me your way, that I may do your will. Show me my path, that I may walk in peace. Thank you, Pat. I think I'll even be more at peace when you go over to the piano side and pick up my sermon for me, which is right on the piano. Then I'll definitely be at peace. I mean, I at this point could probably say it by right here on the big side of the piano. Probably could do it by memory. After all, I wrote it, but I'll be better off if we have a copy of it. So is it on the other? Is it in the other one? Try that one, and then try that blue folder, that blue thing, and see if I dropped it in there for any reason. Keep looking. And if not, I'm going to punt. Oh, I found it. There's no place like home. That's the name of it. Oh, okay. I mean, I have punted many times, but when I prepare, I really like to teach. It's called Show Me Your Way. That's the song I just sang. And I wrote it a while ago. Thank you. I wrote it 20 years ago. Yeah. Yes. All right, so is that one of the songs you want to sing with me? All right. Anybody who has a pretty voice who wants to ever sing with me on a Shabbat, please come over to me. I'll definitely find a place for you on the bima. So just let me know you want to sing. So this week is a double portion. It's called Matot Maseh. And I know that you don't understand why some weeks have one Torah portion and some have two, so I actually have an answer for you. The reason we read from two sections of Torah this week has a lot to do with the calendar. There's a total of 54 Torah portions, but a maximum of 48 and sometimes even less weeks in our year. I just wanted to share that drop of teaching with you so you would understand the reason why sometimes we have to double up. So this is one of those double up portions. Matot and Maseh. So I'd like to take a moment now and I want you to imagine the one place in the world where you have felt the safest and the most secure. Think of that moment for just a second. For most of us, we think about our homes, the ones we grew up in. For others, it's the home that we have created, the community we celebrate, within good times and bad. This is what feeds our souls and makes us truly feel safe. In this week's Torah portion, the people reached the land just over the Jordan River. Those of you that have been to the Jordan River, it's not too big. I always thought it was going to be this huge river. Right, Jeannie? You went to the Jordan River, didn't you? Yeah, you could walk across it. You better not take too large a step. It's this magnificent river. You can tube on it, but it's small. It's a thin river. And the people reached the land just over this Jordan River from the Promised Land. Now the tribes of Reuben and Gad, who are cattle ranchers, see that this location is fertile, and they're ready to stop traveling and create a home on this side of the Jordan. Looks good, nice and green, beautiful river. Who wouldn't want to sit there and have a home? However, when the Reubenites, that's the tribe of Reuben, and the Gadites of Gad suggest staying put, Moses throws a fit. He throws an absolute fit. The issue seems to be that this choice is only concerned that the issue is that this choice that they have made is only concerned with their personal welfare. Moses asks them if they intend to abandon their community's struggle when they are so close to reaching the homeland for all the tribes, not just for those two tribes, for all the tribes. After hearing Moses' rebuke, the Reubenites and the Gadites agree to take part in the rest of the journey, to establish a home for the entire community before returning to the Transjordan with their cattle. The message of the Torah is clear. Everyone in the community must have a safe place to be before any of us consider ourselves at home. How much I dreamed that this kind of thinking and this kind of leadership could possibly be in today's world. Can you imagine a world where we were really concerned with each other and we all thought of the United States as our home, and none of us thought about polluting it? We thought that would be horrific. And none of us thought about filth, and we were careful what we threw on the streets and careful what we threw in the water. And we were careful what we put in the air and even into our own bodies. Can you imagine a world like that? I felt it a little bit during COVID when they had to shut everything down. I felt a few moments that the earth got a break. We, the Jewish people, certainly know about wanderings and have a particular ability to speak to the rights of displaced peoples. And yet, there are many among us who suffer from long-term memory loss. I'm referring to how many times I have heard how angry people are that we let the Mexicans across the border, and we let the Haitians, and we let the this, and we let the that. We are the melting pot. We know what it's like as Jews to be turned away. We were turned away. How can we possibly do anything but open our arms to those less fortunate who come here to seek freedom, or because they dream that this is the melting pot and maybe they'll be able to live without hunger here, which often is not true and wasn't often true for the Jews who came first to America. Now, my mother, may she rest in peace, was the child of immigrant parents who escaped Russia during the pogroms. And if you don't know what the pogroms are, you must look it up. Pogroms. It's a word that every Jew should know, the pogroms in Russia. My grandmother, named Eva, and my sister is named Eve after her, was to be married to a very handsome soldier on the night that he was beheaded, on their wedding night. My mother tells me that he was the love of her life. Like so many thousands of immigrants, my grandmother was placed on a ship heading for the United States, but it was Cuba that opened its arms to the Jews, not the United States. Unfortunately, a very similar situation would happen tragically in 1939 when the German liner St. Louis, some of those ring a bell for you, attempted to land first in Cuba, where it was rejected, and then traveled close to the Florida coast, where again it was rejected. And who was rejected? What was rejected was 937 Jewish passengers, men, women, and children, who were escaping Germany. They were forced to go back to Germany, where they were slaughtered because the United States said they didn't have a visa, they couldn't come in, even though they knew they were going to get killed. Why am I sharing all of this with you tonight? This story is a typical Jewish family narrative. The story of displacement lies deep within our communal and individual Jewish histories. Narratives of fleeing oppression and wandering in search of home lie at the heart of our most sacred texts, inform our most cherished relationships, and have shaped our individual identities as Jews. Jews have a powerful and intimate relationship to migration and the search for home. When we dare to tell our stories within the widest possible global context, we connect our sacred familiar memories of wandering to the ongoing global impact of violence and displacement. We have a unique voice that we can lift up to educate and advocate for the rights of displaced persons everywhere and for fair immigration laws here in North America. Remember when the children were pulled from their parents? Remember hearing how many children never found their parents again just a couple of years ago? Horrific. Do you remember during the Holocaust how children were ripped away from their parents? It brought back everything for me, everything I had learned, all the stories I had heard from my parents. It absolutely caused me to feel so unsafe and so angry at my country. In the coming weeks, as we finish reading the book of Numbers, we will lift our voices and call out for the right of each and every human being to have a home in the fullest sense of the word, a sanctuary where human dignity can safely unfold. Just interesting, how many of you out here have families that came over to the United States as immigrants? Would you raise your hands? Look at that. Look at that. Came over to the United States as immigrants. Wow. All right. And so I ask, and into the community, I ask you, when your friends or anyone says how angry they are that we let these people in and we let this person and we let that person in, just remember that someone finally let us in, or the entire Jewish population of Europe would have been completely destroyed. We lost 6 million. That was half of our population at that time. Isn't that enough? Do we really need to be taught again that we can't open our hearts to those? How many of us have someone that cares for our lawn or cleans our homes or is our friend and neighbor that is from another country that we love and cherish? We need to think of that and remember that to them, we live in the melting pot. We live in a free country, so they think. And so we pray. So many human beings, young and older, will never experience what it is to say, there is no place like home. May they never, ever have to know any place but a loving, secure, and safe home. Amen. I'm just going to take a sip of water. That feels good. Anybody ever remember the Jackie Gleason show where Art Carney would stick his finger in the glass of beer? Those were the days. When I was a child growing up, my mother was teaching a child piano lessons whose father was one of the head cameramen for the Jackie Gleason show. So I went almost every Friday night, I think it was Friday nights, Thursday or Friday nights, to the live tapings of the Jackie Gleason show. I went and sat there thinking, this is all right. I mean, what does an 8-year-old know? This is okay. I was there, the cameras were moving around, and there they were up on the stage at the Gleason. Unbelievable now when I think back, the opportunities I had and didn't even know it. But that's okay. I finally learned to appreciate it. So we're going to continue on. We're going to ask those of you that have a name of someone or names of someone that are ill, and they'd like to share their names. Let me start on this side. Lee. Okay. Thank you. Keep going. Yes. Thank you. Yes, Sarah. Thank you. Yes. Beautiful. Thank you. Anybody else have a name? I'm just letting a few people know that I'm hearing them. Okay. Over to my left, just blanking. I think you know, Shari, who I'm talking about. Just type it back to me. Thank you. Okay. All right, and so there's a beautiful blessing called Misha Bayrak. Now, Misha Bayrak has the root word of bet, resh, chet, baruch, which means blessing. And that word, because Hebrew is such an incredible language, whatever you add to the suffix or the prefix or the suffix can change the whole word. So the root letter is usually hidden within another word that looks a little bit like it. So a Misha Bayrak is a blessing, a prayer. And there are Misha Bayraks not only for sickness, but there's also ones for health, celebration. But tonight we sing one for all those people who need our blessings. Misha Bayrak. If you'd like to see words in 253, you can read some of the blessings while I sing this. 253. Misha Bayrak Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Hu Yevarech, Virapeh, Et HaCholim, Elna, heal them, Elna, Rifana la. Elna Rifana la, heal them. Elna Rifana la, Elna Rifana la. Misha Bayrak Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Hu Yevarech, Virapeh, Et HaCholim, Hu הוא יברך, ירפא את החולים. Enrique, I was looking over at you with the big bandage on your head, and I was thinking we should walk together. We look really good, right? Oh, there you go. And Carla, she's dressed up too. I mean, this looks like, I don't know, a very interesting place to be. all these broken bones. Mine was that I fell, and I injured a part of my wrist, which I had broken my wrist 5 years ago, and this time I fractured a small part of my wrist after a big, beautiful Labradoodle came running at me at force, jumping into my lap while I didn't even, not my lap, I was standing up, not even paying attention, came flying into my arms and knocked me straight over. I didn't go backwards, I tend to go sideways, on my right side, which is what I use for everything. So thank God, it could have been so much worse, and I'm really blessed. It's just a little bit uncomfortable. All right, so now we're going to continue with the Aleinu. If you'll turn to page 282 and rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגאור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס ותתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום וחשב אותה אל לבבך, כי אדוני אלוהים בשמיים למעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו Please be seated. Shari, that was the second program I was trying to remember when I was talking to you earlier, is that besides wanting to teach a class to all those that are interested in learning to sing all of this and chanting all of this that we do on a Friday night and understanding the liturgy, which is one class I'd like to teach for several months. The second thing I want to do is come into your homes and do a Saturday night Havdalah service. So just say, Ken and Nelson, I'm willing to do one. We'll even provide the food if we need to. Doesn't have to be dinner, but a little filet mignon wouldn't exactly upset me. All right. Okay, so let's continue now with Kiddush, and we got to do Kaddish. We're going to do our Kaddish. And so, recently departed is Tova Migdal. And in our year of Yortzeit, these are the names: Bessie Apt, Richard Alexander Bergman, Esther Bernstein, Jenny Blank, Betty Bloom, Morris Blumenthal, Harry Boaz, Moisha Brightman, Juliet L. Kemner, Charles Chirt, Samuel Cohen, Lorraine Cohen, Samuel Commander, Benjamin Kuhl, Sadie Diamond, Maurice Eidelman, Cecilia Brint Farber, Sonia Fine, Abraham Friedman, Edward Galler, Harold Gerish, James E. Gilbert, Yetta Y. Getz, Kate G. Golden, Lee Goodis, Jackie Gruber or Grubber, Robert Gutman, Daniel Neal Heller, Elias Strauss Hirsch, Jesse M. Hoffman, Ruth Hohauser, Elaine Riffis Imbre, Phyllis Kleiman, Max Lewis Koftoff, Harry Kovner, Esther B. Levine, Bernard Major, Rachel Mendelson, Charlene Ruskin Meyer, Candace's family, Rella Milstein, William Newland, Miriam Olson, Arthur H. Pador, Edna Premick, Leon Reinheimer, Eva B. Richter, Harry J. Siegel, Rachel Riff, Daniel Rifkin, Sadie R. Rossman, Ralph A. Rubin, Gerson Seppin, Esther Shia, Rita Spire, Janice Bloom Stewart, Ida Stone, Eleanor Stryker Toch, Nathan Weiss, J. A. Williams, Paula Yarose. Is there anyone here tonight that is either mourning a recent loss or a yahrzeit and would like to share a name or someone they might have lost in this past year? Yes, Jim. Anyone else? Yes. Thank you. If you're online and you want to put a name in the chat for us, that would be wonderful. I want to just say that we also tonight want to remind ourselves that we need to say Kaddish for those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, and for all the magnificent lives who've been lost to the horrificness of guns and to illness and sickness that they didn't have the affordable care to save them. We are grateful. And let's continue. I'm blanking in my head. We need to read the Kaddish, yes? We'll all rise. I talk to myself for so long, I forget. Okay. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah. Bi'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chol dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kari v'yimru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevorach. Leolam ulalmea almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudsho barichu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Damiran b'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Maker of peace in the heavens above, dear God, watch over us here on this earth. Allow us to see our cups half full, to be grateful for what we have. And dear God, watch over our families that they may be able to inherit a world from us that is kinder and more careful and more sensitive to the earth, to their surroundings, and to all people. Amen. You may be seated. No, actually, I want you to come out to the front. We'll do Kiddush and Challah, and then we'll sing. I don't like these steps. These are old, narrow steps. That would be wonderful. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri haga. Let me get it key. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'rata banu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinechilanu zikaron lema'as. Shake it over here, Shari. Ki hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu b'charta v'otam מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. Baruch atah Adonai, only a temple Israel. Mekadosh HaShabbat, 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 Mekadosh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim. By the way, the word, they're accenting it wrong when they go Mekadesh HaShabbat, but a lot of Jews, especially throughout Eastern Europe who came here, they always would put the accents in the wrong place. And so we just keep it alive. But the word is Mekadesh. But we say Mekadesh, we're putting the accent in the wrong place. But it won't sound good to go Mekadesh HaShabbat, Mekadesh. But you could sing it that way if you were truest Hebrewist. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Pass it around. Oh, this is a soft one. And we'll sing our song of peace together. Oh, says Shalom. Thank you again, Pat. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, Alex and Jennifer. Thank you, Shari, our wonderful director, executive director. See her if you're interested in being a member, because we sure would love to have you as part of our family. Remember, I'm waiting for invitations to your home on a Saturday night where we can sing together and hang out and talk about any Jewish ideas you want or not. And is there anything that I'm leaving out? Rabbi will be back this week, and we'll all be back together on the Bima next week. I love you all. Let's sing. Oseh shalom b'romav, u'ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oh, I got you all mixed up. I got you all scared. All right. Okay. Hold on, Pat. They're all scared to clap because they don't know where 2 is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Oseh shalom b'romav, u'ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Boom. 1, I say shalom b'romav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oh, say shalom b'romav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh natu. Shalom aleinu, v'yal kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom. Shalom Aleinu, v'yal kol Yisrael. Good Shabbat, everybody. Oh, you're so beautiful. Thank you, beautiful.